Hello everyone, I have a toy. Let's review that toy, shall we? I'm Troublesome Junction and I'm bringing you the Ertl Oliver The Great Western engine review. If you couldn't tell, this is by the company Ertl from the early... I believe the company was making Thomas toys in the 1980s, that's when they started, but then they stopped it around the early 2000s. But I heard that the UK got them a lot. Like, they kept going for them, and they stopped earlier for us, and they got better companies. So right here is his character card. A bit too green, but I mean, hey, I don't care. If you want to read this, it's honestly just saying like what happened in the episode Escape. This thing right here, I'm gonna tell you all. I just gotta find the year. 1993. I can't focus in, but it says it right there. That little speck. I've wanted this engine for so long. Not even as an Ertl, but I'm talking about in general. As a kid, I never got a take-along version. Never found the Tomy version. I found the wooden railway one for the it came with like a dinosaur wagon and stuff like that, but I felt that it was like kind of, I don't know. I just didn't buy it at the time. But now that I'm holding this in my hand, this feels so great. Just because it's Ertl, aka my favorite Thomas & Friends company that makes toys. I would leave him mint in box, but I mean, I'm just gonna open them up because this is what I wanted to do, and I said I would do a review on them. This thing right here cost about, I got mine for about $20 plus $5 shipping, but the normal price that I've seen them go up for, usually around $80 to $180. That's the main price tag I see on him. People say that Oliver's a lot harder to find. The only thing that I know about the Ertl Oliver is that he was in a contest, because I remember him being on my Devious Diesel packaging. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back down my channel and find my Devious Diesel video on my Ertl, because Devious Diesel was actually my first Ertl. I do have numerous Ertl models. Well, not numerous, but I do have some Ertl models. Wait a minute. Just gonna show that. Look at his paintwork down there. Huh. It just looks kind of sloppy. But yes, I do have quite a few Ertls. Oh, yes. This right here. It was kind of small, but at the same time, it just feels amazing, like in the hands. I feel like some paint's falling off somewhere because it feels kind of sticky. There's like strands of paint all around it. And just like from the running board and stuff like that. For some reason, I always thought that this would... Whoa, this side is sticky. Looks like there's some adhesive there or something like that. Yeah, it feels definitely sticky. But yeah, for some reason I thought the running board was metal. Like when I was looking at pictures and stuff like that. And I know that Donald and Douglas, they also have the same type of, this style of running board. One thing to point out, he's definitely based off the TV series. Because one, he wasn't around for the CGI. And two, he has the splash of white there. Look at that face. I think out of all the toys, this one has by far one of the best. I don't think Tomy exactly captured it right. Take-along one was terrible looking, in my opinion. Had a big forehead. But the wooden railway one, yeah, that one's pretty good. Not gonna lie there. But I think that this one has definitely a good face. I'm gonna probably clean that off later, that adhesive stuff. Has a O-4-2 configuration. As you can see, he's based upon the 14XX class of locomotive. I believe it was the actual engine itself was built by Charles Hullett, I think his name was. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, wow. If you just, like, I'm going to pause the video real quick and go get my Ertls so that I can do a comparison. And I'll do a bit more discussion on him because this is one amazing engine right here. Alright, so I got my other Ertls over here. He's definitely about the same height as D261 and James. Slightly shorter than the fuel wagons. But then Diesel over here, he towers over just about anyone. I think, as I said in my D261 review, I think he's a bit big. Because at the time I did my recording, I didn't realize that, like when I did my review on him, I didn't quite realize that he would be that, huge compared to everyone else. But the thing though that it doesn't really bug me, but it's kind of weird, the fuel wagons tower over just about every character, well, except for Diesel, of course. But just look, fuel wagon, it just doesn't look right. It looks a bit too big. They look just right with Diesel though, because they're slightly shorter. But anyways, back to Oliver over here. Let me just take him off. The one thing I love about the Ertl design is that they actually took time into their models. They even added they're supposed to represent like linkage, like coupling rods and connecting rods. You see his number 11 number 11 engine, the Great Western Railway logo right there. I love the GWR. And then you could just see all of the detail, handrails, side rails. You still could kind of see it right there. It's like a railing that goes over. They didn't paint it, of course, but who cares? At least they thought about it. I think that compared to today's, this one is by far superior. They even painted them on the back. That's nice. The cab things, the only thing I didn't like was that the cabs were stickers. But I can live with that. It kind of just makes me upset though that we went from great toys like this to really poorly made toys now. Like for example, like if the engine's supposed to have like a, let's say a 2-3-0 configuration, they will literally straight up give it 6 wheels total. Wait, I just messed up what I said. I meant a 2-6-0, not a 2-3-0. They give basically nearly everything, either 2 wheels or 3 wheels. They never ever take the time anymore to just put little details like how Ertl did. Ertl, I feel, is by far the best range. If you're a Tom's collector like myself, definitely pick up the Ertls. And for the price I paid for this guy, and for how from the other prices I've seen, this one is a solid 10 out of 10. If I could give it higher, I most certainly would. Just because, well, he just has that little something that today's Oliver could never have. Look, one thing, he has an open cab too. You can kind of see the pole that holds him in right there, but who cares? Solid 10 out of 10, worth it, and a beautiful engine to add into my collection. So that's all I have to say for today. If you like this video, be sure to like it and comment. I will reply to you if you have any questions or anything regarding him. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the flip side.